Hi folks, in this video I will be sharing with you how my wife undervalued our event planning skills. I've been married to my wife for 5 years now. 2017 to date is 5 years, right? And we've been friends for 8 years. We've known each other since 2014. I've never known my wife to be good at event planning. I have never known her to be good at that. So I've only known she's a good parent coach and she loves children and she's got passion and she's a consultant when it comes to raising children. She's good at that because she actually did courses on child minding, on how you can raise proper children. I know she's good at that. But I've never known her to have events planning skills. I know she's got some skills, but I've never known her to have event planning skills. So yesterday was my birthday. And I didn't have any planning in mind. My intention was that yesterday evening we're just gonna drive around, go to one buffet, have fun, come back home. My brother-in-law was not home yesterday, went out. My sister-in-law was equally busy, so that was my plan. But I was blown to find out yesterday that my wife and a friend of mine who shares birthday with me and the wife had a surprise for us. And the surprise was mind-blowing. They had a surprise for me and my friend. We didn't know. It never crossed my mind. Just a gathering, a party of about 20 to 30%. So I was just planning. Yesterday we didn't go to church. So she told me they were going out with the kids. That she and her younger sister, they were going out with the kids. They were taking them out for. So she said they've got an appointment. Though I was actually saying, what kind of appointment have you guys got? Playground? She was like, yeah. So they left the house. They went. I slept off at about 11:30 a.m. I woke up 2:30. And a friend of mine actually contacted me a night before to tell me, Jay, I'd like to go out with you today. A friend of mine will be having his introduction today. And because he's got no family in the UK, I want you and I and a few friends to stand in as his family members. I was impressed. I was like, why not? I'll go with you. So he told me he will pick me up by 2 p.m. I told him today is my birthday and I would like to just have a drive around town and go to buffet with my family. It was like it's not going to take long. That we'll go by 2 and come back by 4 p.m. And I didn't want to turn him down. I didn't want to tell him no because he's never asked for such. Another friend. So I was waiting for him at about 2:30. I had my shower. I dressed up. Was well dressed. So I gave him a call. Where are you? He said he will be with me. That was waiting for me to chill out and rest for a while. That's why he was waiting. I was like, okay, no worry. I'll be waiting for you. I called him again. He drove in. Meanwhile, I was trying to reach my wife as well. Where are you guys? Where are the kids? Where are you? Initially I reached out the first time. The second time I was calling, she wasn't picking for 3 times. So I was like, why today now? I wasn't really impressed. I wasn't happy. Well, fortunately for me, my friend drove down. It was like, he's in front of my house. I should come and pick her. He's come to pick me. I was like, okay. So I wore my Paris shoes. So I went out. So I hopped into his car. I was like, Oga, you're not on native. You didn't wear native because we're going for an introduction. You should be on native. It was like, it's UK now that we don't need to wear native. So, okay, no worries. So we went, only for us to we got there. So I was telling him, a friend of mine lives around this region. That's the same friend of mine who shares birthday with me. So a friend lives here. He was like, is he the engineer? I was like, yes, he's a civil engineer. That no, it was like, is he the IT guy? I was like, no, he's not an IT guy. He's a civil engineer. He lives around this region. I was like, really? I said yes. So he drove down. So before he got to the guy's house, I saw my wife and my kids. I was like, wow, what are they doing here? I was like, what are my family doing there? Did they come to the park? Because there's a park beside the place. I was like, I have no idea. So I was like, what are you guys doing here? So my wife didn't was just staring at me with. So she drove. My friend drove down. He parked his car. Saw my wife. I came to our car. I was asking my wife, "What are you guys doing?" She was just looking at me. She smiled. So we went. The guy was telling me his friend that is doing his introduction lives in this house. And my friend lives here. He said upstairs. I was like, which upstairs? There's no upstairs. The only upstairs I can see is that my friend uses both the up and down. It's like a mini duplex where you have the rooms upstairs. You have the lounge and the kitchen. If you're used to the UK houses, you understand what I mean. So we walked in only for me to see a crowd of about 20 to 25 or 30 persons. I don't want to give a wrong estimate. But I say, happy birthday. So my friend was like, whoa, my friend who shares birthday with me now said, it's the same way. That was all he found out. That himself and his wife, they stepped out. They came in. They went to pick his in-laws from the airport. They came in. As soon as they drove in, he opened the door and heard noise from the kitchen. I heard sounds from the kitchen. He was like, are you sure thief has not broken into my house? Only for him to open the kitchen door and found this crowd. And he screamed, happy birthday. What an amazing. So we sat down, we ate and had fun. And I asked my wife, how long have you guys been planning this? And how long did it take you guys to plan it? She said a period of 2-3 weeks. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And who was the mastermind? The wife of my friend contacted my wife to tell her, how do we go about this? So I'm Barca fan. My friend is a Man U fan. So they baked a cake. Part of the cake was Barca. Part of the cake was Man U, which was interesting. As if that's not enough. They contracted us the meal. The meal was well prepared. Very delicious meal. They brought the meal. A lot of things like that. Very spicy. Just a little touch. Just gave it the burst. And it was cool. We had an amazing time. We had fun. We drank. It was just a normal thing. It was cool. I saw some of my family friends. It was lovely. I enjoyed myself. And I would thank her for the little time they spent in planning it. And they spent almost 1,000 or 1,500 for the whole event, which was good. I was impressed. I appreciated it. And I don't take little things for granted, whether little or mighty things. I do not take them for granted. I appreciated her. I was thankful. Then I began to ask her, I never knew you're this good with event planning. I never knew. But I think you have undervalued your event planning skills. My wife and my sister-in-law are coming to us. There's a time I'm going to do a video on how she has undervalued her skills. But my wife, on these event planning skills, I told her, do you know you've undervalued these skills for a long time? I don't know you've got these skills, but mere saying this, it shows you have these skills. I know you can get your hand into everything. I know you can create a business model for everything that you know how to do. But then, I appreciate this thing you've done. And I wouldn't take it for granted. I'm just using as she has found a path for herself. She's a parent coach, and a child consultant when it comes to consulting children, how your child can be a better child. But I didn't know the aspect of her. Now she has found a path for herself. Now, what path have you found for yourself? What provoking thought have you had? Have you ever sat down? Some of you are very good at many things. You are pro at many things. You are good at A, B, C, D, but you have not the thought of creating a business model for anything that you do. Everything that you know how to do, you have not thought of creating a business model for it. Now, let me cite this illustration to capture your mind. Are you aware that there are people who think Coca-Cola is very cheap and Coca-Cola has no worth? So they think they can go to a corner shop and buy Coca-Cola for £1, £2, or less than £1. Now, there are people in the airport who can't go to a corner shop to buy Coca-Cola for £1. They feel, I am too valuable to go to that corner shop. Now, when they're in the airport, they get Coca-Cola at a very expensive rate. They take it because Coca-Cola is well valued in the airport. In the supermarket, Coca-Cola is well valued than in the corner shop. In the hotel, Coca-Cola is well valued than the corner shop and supermarket. Now, anywhere Coca-Cola goes, if Coca-Cola is with this in the corner shop, it has less value. If Coca-Cola is in the airport, it has a bigger value. If it's in the supermarket, it has a higher value. If Coca-Cola is in the hotel, it has a more higher value. Now the question is, where do you always find yourself? Do you always find yourself in the midst of people who undervalue your knowledge, your skills, your expertise? That's the corner shop. They undervalue it. Now it is time for you to move away from those who undervalue what you know, what you can do, these skills that you've got. It is time to begin to see yourself in the midst of people who will not undervalue those skills that you've got. It is time to start projecting your mind. It is time to start seeing the positivity of where you want to get to. It is time for a culture shift. It is time to have a mindset shift. It is time to leave that zone where you've always been, where people don't value your knowledge, your skills, your expertise, and your passion, and move to a zone where people will value your knowledge, your expertise, your skills, and your passion. Push forward. Whatever it takes to get there, get there. Where audience will value that thing that you've got in you. Is there a barrier within you and your audience? Who are your audience? Your audience are your customers or your client. These are your audience. How do I get them? That's the next question that should come to your mind. How do I get this audience of mine? Where do they reside? Are they on social media? Are they online? Are they offline? How do I get to them? That's another question that should come to your mind. Now, the next question that should come to your mind is, how do I present my value, the value that I represent to them? Now, what price tag will I give to the value that I represent to them? These are the questions that should go through your mind, that should push your mind forward. And if these questions doesn't, how do I package or organize or put my knowledge in order for this set of people to value what I'm presenting before them? Because I don't want to remain with those guys who don't value my knowledge. Then you are beginning to think to create a business model for your knowledge or for your skills or for your expertise. That's how you think. Your thought shapes your life. So you need to begin to think harder, faster, deeper than you've ever thought. These are the things that should provoke you, that should provoke your mind. Stop giving your value to those who don't value it. Stop placing your value to people for free. Your value is worth monetization. That value that you've given out for free for too long, my brother, it's time to think. Start thinking broad. Start thinking wide. Start thinking the best way you can and create a business model for it. Thank God my wife found a path, but she's good at other things. What are you good at? Do you have potentials in so many things and you undervalue them all? I know people like that. But I can help you break out of that shell where you think that nobody wants to pay for the value that you offer. The value you represent is a gold mine. And the value you represent can put food, meal on your table and can take you places in life. Start thinking. Start seeing yourself going great. Do have an amazing time. Cheers.